Hello again, football fans. Welcome to Friday Night Varsity Preview. I'm Rachel George, joined by sports editor Dan Spears, and the playoffs are finally here.
Hooray!
It has been a long regular season, but now the postseason is upon us. We've got a few categories to go over for you here as we look ahead to the playoffs. First one, early exit. Which team do we have that's not going to last very long?
This might be wrong, but the team I'm picking is West Brunswick, and mostly because I'm not sure what Maverick Pate's going to do, and the problem is neither does Jimmy Fletcher. He played in the last game for them a little bit. They've done a lot of things this year that they hadn't done in the past. They found some capable backups, Bradley Bell, Quan Bates, pardon me, Quan Ray somewhere else. But I just don't know what they're going to do, and the problem is I don't think they do either. They play Chapel Hill first, 5-5, which is a little misleading because they do play in a bigger league. This will be where West Brunswick's depth of schedule might come back and hurt them.
My pick for an early exit is a little different. I'm going with James Keenan. I think the first round game they've got East Montgomery the 9 seed, Keenan the 8 seed, so I think that's a winnable game for them.
It is.
East Montgomery's got a 3-hour drive. Tigers have lost the last 2 games and certainly want to win one. But after that, they're probably going to run into a train wreck with Southwest Onslow, which should beat Union. And if it gets into the second round, we'll be 12-0 against James Keenan. Sorry to the Tigers, but I cannot see them winning that game.
It's a tough row to hoe, and losing those last 2 games really hurt them for their seed more than anything else. They might still have their confidence, but now they're in a really tough part of the bracket. That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. Now they have to beat the second-ranked team in the state. So if they can get to the second round, a tough game awaits them. On the positive side, we've each picked a team that we think will surprise us and have a good playoff run. Who do you have there?
I have Whiteville, and I have Whiteville because of where they are in the bracket and what they've done in their games this year. Bob Lewis has them playing hard. They've got their run and attack is on target right now. They play a Farmville Central team that isn't all that terribly strong in the first round. The second round, they would play First Flight, and yes, that means a bus trip to Kill Devil Hills, but that's not the best football up there. Whiteville's played some really, really good football this year, and they've played good teams well. I think this will help them, and I think it'll make a difference. You can take a running game anywhere. You can't take a passing game on the road, but you can take a running game on the road. So I'm taking Whiteville.
I think that's a good pick. My surprise, I think some people are going to be surprised with, is Trask. The Titans come in.
I'm not surprised.
Titans come in 4-7. They've got the 14 seed, and they'll play at number 3 East Columbus in the first round. They've lost the last 5, but outside of the Wallace-Rose Hill route, they've been in every Tri-County game they've been in. Their conference is stronger than the Three Rivers. I think they have the 12th best schedule or 12th strongest schedule in 1A, so they're playing a lot tougher competition than East Columbus has seen, and I fully expect them to win.
Can they finally win a close game is the question. I think they can. I think they
Obviously,
can.
I think so too.
I'm not disagreeing with you this time.
Well, last but certainly not least, we've each picked a team that we think is going the furthest. Who's going to have the deepest run, maybe go for a state championship, and who do you have?
I have Wallace-Rose Hill. They fall down into the little 1A bracket, which is a huge advantage for them. There's not nearly as many ranked teams down there. They have, Joey Price has playoff experience. You can talk all you want about their rushing attack and their passing game, and they've gotten better, and they've gone from 2-10 to what they are now. I think the thing about this team that'll help them in the playoffs is they already make mistakes and overcome them. This has not been a perfect run by any stretch of the imagination. This has been wins and fits and starts in a couple places, and then a couple of really nice wins in the middle.
Absolutely, and I know we said when the brackets came out, okay, we'll see them against Mount Airy in the 1A state championship.
I really think so.
The Mount Airy is the top-ranked team in 1A, so we'll see if that holds true, but definitely has some potential. No surprise here. I've been on the bandwagon all year. I've got East Bladen going the furthest. They are the number 1 in the little 2A East. Don't have to travel at all. That's such a big deal in the playoffs. And they got lucky in their bracket. There's only one other ranked team in that bracket is Tarboro, which they would face in the East Final. I know we've been talking about their offense, and they replaced all their skill position players, and they score so many points. But you and I were just talking about their defense. 39 turnovers, 8 defensive touchdowns, giving up 8.1 points per game, and that includes 4 shutouts. I mean, when push comes to shove, defense is going to win you games and a championship, and this time of year, that's what you need, and that defense has certainly been stellar for the Eagles.
You said they don't have to travel, and getting to Elizabethtown is not easy, not even from here. So imagine having to get there from Elizabeth City or up toward the triangle, north of the triangle. It's a long drive, and it's a bear of a defense once you get down there. They've got a great shot to get back to the state championship.
They absolutely do. All right, well, we will run down the schedule here. Lots of teams made the playoffs, some didn't, but we will go down through. In the 1A East, as Dan mentioned, Wallace Rose Hill is the 4 seed and will play host to 13 Northampton East. In the 1A West, we have a couple teams. West Columbus gets the 9 seed and travels to number 8 North Stokes. North Duplin is the 10 seed, and they'll be on the road at number 7 Cherokee, which that is a drive.
Oh, that's a haul. But remember, North Duplin did this 2 or 3 years ago. They went out to Cherokee and won the game.
Yes.
So they've done this before.
Yes. In the 1AA East, Union is the 16 seed and will be at number 1 Southwest Onslow. As I mentioned, James Keenan, the number 8, at home against number 9 East Montgomery. Dixon gets a 12 seed and will be at number 5 Aiden Grifton. Pender gets a 4 seed and will be at home against 13 Perquimans. As I said earlier, Trask a 14 on the road at number 3 East Columbus, former conference opponent. In the 2A East, East Bladen, like we said, number 1 will have Carborough, the 16 seed in the first round. North Brunswick, a 14 seed, headed on the road to number 3 Roanoke Rapids.
That'll be an interesting game. I'm interested to see if they can take that strong end of the season on the road with them. If they can win that game.
Oh, absolutely. As Dan said, Whiteville, they'll be the 7 seed and be at home against number 10 Farmville Central. And the 2AA East, East Duplin, the number 1 seed at home against St. Paul's in a game they should absolutely roll. In the little 3A East, South Brunswick gets an 11 seed. They'll be on the road at number 6 East Rowan. In the big 3A, West Brunswick a 4 at home against number 13 Chapel Hill. In the little 4A, we've got a few Mid-Eastern teams. Holly Springs is number 12, will be at number 5 New Hanover.
That's a big game all of a sudden with Terry Sanford being eliminated by a forfeit as the 4 seed next to them. Everybody thought Terry Sanford really had an outside shot to go to the state championship, and now they're out. So if Hanover wins, they would play a 13 again at home. This is a big chance for them to maybe salvage something out of that tough loss to Hoggard last week. Get a win here, get a win the next week. All of a sudden, your state quarterfinals. That's a pretty good year.
10 wins, and in the third round, I think they'd take it if they can do it.
Absolutely.
Also in the 4A East, New Bern is a 14 seed at number 3 Apex Middle Creek. Rose gets a 10 seed, will be on the road at number 7 Southeast Raleigh, which New Hanover certainly knows that's a darn good team. And in the big 4A, our only team there, Hoggard gets a 2 seed and will be at home against number 15 Cary. So
let the games begin.
That's right. Well, that's it for us this week. Be sure to check back on Saturday as we recap all the first-round games on Friday Night Varsity Flashback. But for this week, for Dan Spears and myself, Rachel George, this has been Friday Night Varsity Preview on StarNewsOnline.com.